All right, what's up, everybody? My name's Adam. Welcome to the Backseat Wisdom Podcast. Our mission is simple, kind of a new just idea, and I did it last episode, but just reminding myself and everybody that we're all students of a craft, and no matter what rank or however many years you have, like the learning never stops. I'm young. I've had older people on every age so far, just reminding myself and ourselves that it's a space that we can have. We have to keep learning from. Um, I have a quick shout out first to the Public Safety Training Center for all the Wisconsin people. They're hosting a RIT training Saturday, April 18th from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Registration opens. It should be open, but it closes April 12th. There will be a link in the description on YouTube and all that after this, but it's at the Green Valley Morgan Fire Company. It's hosted by BJ and Dan and a few other instructors. So two guys I've had on here already. Mayday operations, RIT deployment, air management, SCBA skills, firefighter removal, drags, throwing ladders, window rescues, basement rescues. Then at the end of the day, a full scale scenario, putting all the skills learned that day together. Be ready to train like lives depend on it, because they do. Make sure to attend that. I should be there. Looking forward to it. Moving on, joining me today is the Michael Goldstein. Mike is married to his beautiful wife, Krista. Together they have twin girls. He's been involved in the first responder field for over 20 years, starting his career as a dispatcher and then transitioning into the fire service. Mike has been a firefighter for 14 years, 6 as a call member and 7 as a career firefighter. Currently a firefighter EMTB for the town of Derry in New Hampshire. Mike is also a part-time staff and state instructor for the New Hampshire Fire Academy. He spends much of his time traveling to various fire conferences. By attending these conferences as a student, he honors his belief that one must always be a student, and getting outside of your own zip code is essential, bringing back new skills for the next generation of firefighters. He runs a small, not small, I have a small podcast, humble podcast called The Can Report, which is based in Milford, New Hampshire, focusing on the men and women who are first responders. The Can Report was out of love to bring other story, made out of love to bring other stories of successes, struggles, and triumphs to the masses. Michael, thanks for coming on. Is there anything else you want to add to your intro?
Nozzle top, my friend. Happy to be on.
Awesome. We'll start off with your intro into the fire service. How you got involved. I know started as a dispatcher, which is I'm assuming awesome, but who knows? Your intro into the fire service, and
Yeah. Well, first off, Adam, brother, thank you so much for letting me be on the show.
Absolutely.
I really appreciate the invite. I'm always happy to be on somebody else's program. It's cool to actually be interviewed and talk to somebody else. And we're all in the same boat, right? We're all doing the same thing. And it's always an honor and a privilege to be able to spread the wisdom, to spread the knowledge and the passion to other people. And you're doing fantastic stuff, Adam. Thank you. I love watching your stuff. I love listening to you. And honestly, I think it's the coolest thing is that you're doing it out of your dorm room.
Yeah.
So anybody who's listening or watching, man, like this kid is doing it. He's killing it. He's a college student and he's doing a podcast in his dorm room. How cool is that? Like, that's badass. So keep it up, Adam. I friggin' love it. I just totally forgot the question.
Intro.
No, you just wanted me to add anything. So nope, I got nothing, man. I'm just ready to let's hit it. I'm excited.
All right. So yeah, we can go. We'll just let me back up. I want the whole story actually.
You got it.
Give me your life before the fire service a little bit, intro into the fire service, becoming a dispatcher and everything, and then where you're at right now in New Hampshire.
Sure, bro. So, honestly, I never had a big inkling to be in the fire service when I started growing up. As a kid, I didn't know what I wanted to be. Sometimes I wanted to be a forest ranger because living in New Hampshire, we have beautiful forests, we have beautiful mountains, and I love to be outdoors. So at one point I was like, you know what? I think I want to be outside. I like all the time. I want to be camping. I want to see the trees. I want to go fishing. And so at first I'm like, I'll be a forest ranger. I'm like, nah, maybe I'll be a cop. And honestly, I had no direction in life. My history as a kid, broken household, divorce. I always moved back and forth between parents. My mom lived in Arizona and then California. My dad moved to New Hampshire. So I didn't like either way. Honestly, like both homes were kind of a mess. So I didn't really have a direction. I was always moving, so I didn't really like know where I wanted to be. So I didn't know what I wanted to do. So then I dropped out of high school at 11th grade, got my GED. I needed money. I wanted a car. I wanted these things we couldn't afford when I was growing up. My dad didn't have a lot of money. He was married with a horrible woman, and we had a really tough time making ends meet. So I decided to drop out of school, get myself a part-time job. The part-time job was actually delivering parts for a place called Sinel Auto Parts. Loved it. Like, honestly, it was cool. Like, I was this teenager driving around a little pickup truck and dropping parts off everywhere, man. It was a blast. Like, I just listened. We had a tape deck in it, so it was the little rectangular things called cassettes.
Yep.
Yep. So I'd have a glove box full of cassettes, and man, I would just drive around Nashua, New Hampshire, just delivering parts to everybody. And I never really knew what I wanted to do. And then I ended up moving to Maryland for a little bit, Rockville, Maryland. Shout out to RJ from Capital Fire Training. That's where he lives. So I kind of just grew up there for a little bit in my 20s, moved back home, still didn't know what I wanted to do, worked some temp jobs. Then I landed a job working at Rockingham Regional Ambulance, which was it's totally defunct now, but back in the day, it was the premier of private ambulance services in the state of New Hampshire.
Okay.
And I was a dispatcher. And it was weird. Like, it just took to it. It just, whatever it was like the Matrix. It just made sense. Like no one understood the board. It looked like all those green trickling symbols. But for me, it all made sense, like how to dispatch stuff. So it was a private ambulance service, but we worked contracts with various fire departments as well. So we had contracts with Nashua, we had contracts with Manchester, and we would provide emergency ambulances for those two cities. So I got to get a little bit of experience of actually talking to the other dispatchers for Nashua and Manchester, giving them ambulances and learning more about the emergency services. So we provided wheelchair van transports. We provided hospital transports to different hospitals. And then we also provided ambulances to the cities. And then I really started to like that a lot. So I did some ride time in the ambulances just to see what it's like. And it really just stuck with me. I'm like, I really like the side of helping people. Like, it just made sense. And dispatching was fun. So that closed down in like 2008, I think it was, or somewhere around there. 2012. And I started in the community I live in Milford. I started dispatching in Milford. And I joined the fire department there as well. And as soon as I started as a call member, because it wasn't volunteer, it was call, like a part-time call membership. And I had a blast as soon as I started. The girl I was dating at the time, her father, who's now my wife, her father is a retired deputy chief out of Nashua. He had been on the fire department for like 28 years. And he's like, dude, you should be a firefighter. Like, you're a strong guy. I could tell you like to be active. You'd be really great at this job. And I never really thought about it. Like, firefighting, huh? Maybe I'll look into it. Joined the call department, got to get the on-job training there. They put me through the academy, and man, ever since once I started, that was it. I was made to do it. So fast forward, and now I'm working in Derry. I was on in Milford at one time, but then I transferred, I lateraled over to Derry, and I've been doing this now. I've been in the first responder field as a firefighter for 14, but I've been in the field for over 20. So I started back in 2005 as a dispatcher.
Awesome.
Yeah, man.
Here's the question. Has your wife's dad been on your podcast?
He was, man.
Awesome.
He was my first guest because I owed it all to him. So my very first podcast was with him. If anyone's curious about how that went, it was a really good episode, but talk about raw, right? We all got to start somewhere. Like, I didn't have like this beautiful setup here. It was, I don't even know what I even used for a mic, man, but it was, I think I used the computer camera and the computer mic. It was, it was very raw, but I owe it all to him. Cause when I talk about joining the fire service, he's the one that pushed me to do it.
Okay. And
it's not easy when you don't know anything about the fire service up here, because it's not like we don't have like not that it was a secret, but at the time when I was growing up, I didn't know much about it. and I didn't know how to start. And I didn't know if you needed college education or how you even get to the fire academy. So one of the things I now being older is I love to promote the fire service and let the youth know, like, if especially for people who are at risk for dropping out, like I was, if someone told me, hey, you look like you could do something really good. I see something good in you. You ever thought about being a firefighter or an EMT, something like that, or a cop? Maybe, you never know. But had somebody come up to me and go, hey, I think you should try the fire service. I think you'd really like it. That would have been awesome, but it didn't happen. So I literally just wandered aimlessly for a while, dude. I had no direction in life. I was always getting in trouble. So when I was a teenager, because of my upbringing, I was always getting in fist fights. I was drinking a lot. I was always like, my buddies and I would go out, we'd hit the bars, and every night would usually end in a fight. We just loved it. It was what we did, because a lot of us came from a bad upbringing. So not that we hated life, but we had animosity towards others, especially if we saw other people that had it better than us. Plus, when we all came out, we would be in the bars, like, people didn't like us. They all look like me, like tattooed up and just looking for trouble. And it sometimes intimidate other people. And then people start fights with us, and then we would end them. So it was never good. I'd come home with bloody nose, broken noses, broken face. And especially when I worked at Rockingham Ambulance, that's not good, because, we now had to be professional, right? Mm-hmm. But I'm showing up to work with my face all busted up, and people are like, what happened? Like, oh, I fell. I fell on some black ice, right. But they know what happened. Like, Mike got another fist fight. So another drunken brawl. And it's not my history that I'm proud of, but it's, I think, like with anything with tradition and history, you can't forget where you came from. And that helps me to stay humble, that I came from bad upbringing, that I don't want to repeat. So it's important to know where you came from, and that you don't have to be the same just because you had a bad history or a bad life. You can make something better yourself. So that's literally what I've been doing in life now, man. It's just trying to be a better person.
Awesome. And you have a family, and you're working full time with a department that you love, I hope. And so that's awesome story, man. It is. Let's go to the start of the Can Report, the start of that first idea of you wanting to start a podcast. And did you expect it to be where it's at now, with like a pretty decent following so far? You got a lot of good stuff going on. So did you expect it to be where you are today?
Dude, no, I didn't. Honestly, I had no idea that again, like we were talking about earlier, I'm just a schmuck from New Hampshire. I really am. I'm a nobody. I just love to talk to people. God's blessed me with a gift to gab, and I love to talk. I love to be a social person. And when I was going through my tough times from my previous department, and it's no secret, I talk about like toxic work environments, and it was a really bad spot I was in. And I never could share my experiences. I can never really talk openly about what was going on, because I would get in trouble with that department. As soon as someone found out that I was complaining or talking about that, I'd get called in the office, and my chief would give me an earful about me complaining. So once I left, there was a gentleman that was doing his own podcast, and his name is Matt Ballard. And not Ballard. Oh my God. I can't believe I just forgot his last name. Anyways, first name is Matt, and it's Freeburn is the podcast. And he's a great guy, and he was very much about mental health, and he asked for anybody wanted to be a guest on his show. And I saw it, I go, you know what? I don't have to worry about getting in trouble anymore about what I say, within being actually reasonable. Right. But I can talk about my experiences now, because I'm not going to get fired at that place. Right. So I'm free to talk. I was so repressed. So I went on his show, and that was the first time I felt free. Like, oh my God, I'm okay to talk. Right. It was therapeutic. It felt good. And, it wasn't about complaining, but it was letting people know, like, it's okay to feel these feelings. And And him and I had a great conversation about that and talk about toxic leadership and organizational betrayal and things that normally people that we don't get to talk about freely because we're afraid. We're afraid of looking weak. We're afraid of people having, putting a target on our back or going back to the department and say, this person was just on the show talking about us.
Right.
So that inspired me. Then I'm like, you know what? I want to do more of that. But I also want to promote New Hampshire. I want to promote the fire service in New Hampshire. And I want to talk to people that a lot of people don't know about, because whether in New Hampshire or all over the world, we got some really cool people that are doing some really cool things that a lot of people don't know about. So let's get them on the show. So that was my main goal, is when I developed the Can Report. And it took a while to come up with the name. There was a lot of badass names out there, right?
Yeah.
But I wanted something that had some meat to it. Not something that was going to be like, an aggressive sounding name. And, because I love metal music, right? I love hardcore music. I love tattoos. I love living life. But I wanted something else that sounded that was professional, but something that had to do with me. So the Can Report is, as we all know, it stands for conditions, actions, and needs, right? When a chief rolls up on scene or somebody else rolls on scene, they go, give me the Can Report, right? What is your conditions, actions, and needs? For me, that's what I think of like in life. What's our conditions, actions, and needs, especially in the fire service? What's the conditions now that we got going on? What are we seeing? People talk about culture. People talk about toxic work environments. We talk about suicides. We talk about a lot of our conditions are deteriorating in a way, right? People talk about the brotherhood. And then what are the actions that we're taking to better ourselves?
Yeah.
What are you doing? Are you complaining, or are you actually making it better? What actions do we need to make it that better, to improve our conditions? And then the needs. What's the needs of our fire service? What's the needs of you? What's the needs of me? Like, what is going on, so we can get the heart of the problem and we can talk about this and hopefully come up with a solution to help better ourselves. So that's really what the Can Report came from, was the conditioned actions and needs of us, the brotherhood, the sisterhood, the firemanship of a whole, to make ourselves better. And I want to open up that conversation, and it's been going that way. And for me, I'm not a very scripted person, so I think that helps. So I just shoot off the cuff. I want to have a table talk discussion or a bumper chat. And that's where it, I think, helps to keep it organic and real, is that I'm just me. There's nothing else to hide behind. I'm an open book. And that's why I want to have people who have the same experiences or something new to share, whether it's a product, a tactic, or something that they experienced in life they want to share. That's what it's about.
Yeah, dude, that's awesome. Taking the Can Report from a operational standpoint, moving it to just life in general.
Yes, sir.
I mean, I didn't even know that. That's like awesome. I don't even know what the right word is.
Analogy?
Purpose, it's awesome. So Nozzle Tov, I'm kind of curious. Where'd that stem from?
Oh man, great question. So when I was loading hose, when I first started out, every time we load hose, people call for couplings. You got a coupling, and then we call for a nozzle. Nozzle.
Right.
So it always reminded me of Mazel Tov. So Mazel Tov is Jewish or Hebrew for like congratulations or to life. Okay. So Mazel Tov is like Mazel Tov, it's a boy, So I started saying Nozzle Tov, and then people were like looking at me like I got three heads. I'm like, just a play on words, man. It's a Jewish thing, and me being Jewish, obviously, if anyone didn't know that, I am Jewish. But yeah, so I took that, and then one of my captains, he turned to me and he said, you should make a sticker out of that. Like, he's like, that'd be kind of a cool sticker. I'm like, you know what? That would be a cool sticker for sure. So I'm like, yeah, I'm going to do that. So I reached out to Jobtown Graphics. I love that guy.
They're making a logo right now.
Right. And what? I didn't know he was Jewish, by the way.
Yeah, me either.
So when I started doing it, I'm like, oh man, this is even better. He's like, yeah, I'm Jewish. I'm like, great. So you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah. So
we worked together. We came up with the idea. I'm like, I want to do a smooth bore. I want to do Nozzle Tov. Like, let's make it cool. And so we came up with the Nozzle Tov sticker. And and as soon as I had that sticker and I was like giving to people, like people were like, oh, I want another one. I want another one. And then I showed it online. And actually, when he showed it, what he did, he's like, dude, do you have any more of those stickers? Because people are asking me for more of these stickers, and I don't have them because I don't make them. Like you got to pay me for that, right? So I was like, oh crap, I didn't realize it was gonna be that popular. So that's where the nozzle tov came from, was just me literally just yelling out nozzle tov every time we get past the nozzle. And it just kind of stuck. Same thing with the stickers, man. Like my nickname is Stickers. In the fire service, we all have nicknames usually. People get some weird ass nicknames. When I was coming up, everyone had, like, one of the guys in my department, previous department, his name was SpongeBob because his family owns a burger place in Milford. Awesome, but Papa Joe's. When everyone's from New Hampshire, visit Papa Joe's. But then there's another guy named T-Rex because he's got short little arms. And so someone's like, what are we going to call Mike? Like, I don't know. There's so many things we could come up with. And one day it's like, well, his tattoos look like stickers. Let's just call him Stickers. So it stuck.
It stuck. Yeah, there was a comment on one of my posts that was like, "Oh, it's a dope nickname." I forgot to mention that. I can throw the comments up there.
There you go.
Can see that too. Yeah.
I have an OG nozzle sticker, I think. Yeah. I'll carry them around with me. So if like when I'm going to various conferences, I don't really believe in making people, if I'm in person and I got stickers with me, I feel like a shit if I like, hey, it'll be $5. Like, I'm just going to give you a sticker. And so I try to, especially the nozzle top, like, again, I never think like they would be really, like, people would care about them.
Yeah.
Honestly, still in our society, I thought it was going to be a bad thing. And I hate to say it, but like, there's anti-Semites out there, right? I've experienced it myself. I've had people call me names. I've had people. I've had my car vandalized when I was younger. I had a person literally slash my tires, took a knife and carved Star of David and Jew into my car door. So I've been victim of that. So developing nozzle top, I was honestly a bit worried about it because I was afraid of the backlash. And I even said it to the guy who runs Jobtown, like, I don't know, is it too Jewish? I literally had to say it to him. Is it too Jewish? Because I don't want the backlash. I don't want to have to listen to any anti-Semitic remarks or any other religious things. Yeah, I'm Jewish. I'm proud of it. Just like people have the Irish flag or they have the German flag. I'm proud of who I am. I'm proud of my heritage. And so that's why I have it. But I also, it sucks that you have to have that little bit of that fear of, who's going to hate me because of my religious background.
Right.
So, but I said, you know what? F it. I'm going to do it anyways. If they got a problem with it, they don't need a sticker.
Yeah. No, dude, I'll say, like, I'm a Christian and I know people know that. And I guess my take, if we're both doing our thing, treating each other with respect, if I get one of those stickers, I'm going to rock it on my water bottle or on my bag or whatever. Like, no reason for negativity with that or like anything at all. That's beyond me. I'll never understand that.
It happens, bro. It's unfortunate. It does happen in this world.
Yeah.
It's some ignorant people out there. Unfortunately, actually, there's some ignorant people in our own fire service that still feel that way. And it's a shame. And maybe one day they'll smarten up and realize that we're all the same and that we can all just love each other like firefighters should.
Yeah. Dude, it's definitely getting lost in places for sure. So yeah, moving on. Got a question for you from the audience, probably from my dad. I'm assuming he's a big mental health guy, but is your mental health as important as your physical health in the fire service?
That's a great question. 100%. Without even hesitating, we have to work out our minds as much as we work out our body, right? We have to take care of ourselves because, dude, we can take care of our bodies all the time, right? It's easy. I say it's easy because I love working out.
Yeah.
It's easy to take care of yourself physically, but you can then put the back burner on mental health. If you don't take care of both, then you're in a bad way. And then you've got a great body. You're taking care of your lungs are working. You've got muscles. You're looking good. You're looking fit. You're feeling good, but your mental health is suffering because you're not taking care of that because you're using that gym as that crutch or using the gym as your therapy. And it's good because I do the same thing. When I go to the gym, I'm listening to my angry music. I'm working the demons out, but it's only good for a little bit, right? It's good for that hour. You didn't talk to anybody. Yeah. You took it out on the weights, but you still got to go home, you know, and if you're still having some issues, it's not going to take care of anything. So you still have to work out your mental health. You have to take care of yourself for sure, because I've been victim of it. I've seen other people victim of it as well. If you think you can handle it on your own, you can't. It just keeps creeping up, and honestly, you start getting nightmares. You start talking to yourself.
Yeah.
People think you're crazy. My wife asks me all the time. She's like, "Who are you talking to?" I'm like, "I was just talking to myself." But it's really important, and that's why I make a big push on it with my platform. That I want people to be around. I hate seeing suicides. I hate seeing people struggle. I wear my heart on my sleeve. And if someone's struggling, I'm going to be there. I always tell people that I'm here for you. You know, if you need to talk, you need to chat, throw me a text, email me, whatever you need to do. But I want you here. I hate seeing in the news that we lost another person because they didn't know how to take care of themselves, or they felt that it was not, appropriate for them to talk about their problems. Whether you're a man or a woman in the fire service, it's an alpha personality, and we throw that to the side, and we still have to keep pushing forward. So no, your dad's right. Mental health is incredibly important, just as much as our physical fitness. If you're mentally broken, your physical fitness means nothing.
Yeah, absolutely. No, it's I don't know. I wish I had answers. We are fortunate. We have a lot of like insanely smart people in the fire service that do all these studies and the books and everything. So definitely happy with the way we're moving towards that. But yeah, man, it's just like hearing about it, seeing the press releases or like whatever it is, it sucks.
And I honestly wish, to get on a tangent, I wish we would actually do better with our suicides. We do a great job with our line of duty deaths. We have charts and graphs, and we study that religiously because that's our job. But we don't really study the line of duty deaths. I want to know why they're happening. We need to actually study that. We study, just like we're studying cancer, right? How are guys and girls getting cancer? Well, why are men and women killing themselves? Like, is it because of the job? Is it because of financial reasons? Is it marital stress? Is it, what is happening to make them go to that point of no return?
Yeah.
And because, again, I've been in some dark places myself. I knew I needed to talk to somebody. And for me, it was work. Work was making me go crazy. Like my previous department, I was not in a good place. It was very, very tough. And my wife's like, you need to talk to somebody. Like, this is getting bad. Like, I was having nightmares, and I occasionally do still. I still have dreams about my previous work environment. So I wonder, with some of these people that are doing these things to themselves, is it because of their work environment? Was it they working at a place that is driving them to a point of no return?
Yeah.
Or is it because, again, financial situations are happening and they can't take care of themselves, and they don't want to admit the failure of not being able to support their family, and they don't want to reach out for financial help, so they end it. These are questions we should be asking, and we should be getting numbers to these. We should be doing a job just like we do NIOSH reports. I want to find out why we're losing brothers and sisters, because we're losing way too many.
Yeah, we as a fire service have to push that, like you said, all these other things we study. We definitely got to do that. And it brings up a good point, like in Dina's book about Hope Out of Darkness, right? And she talks about the things, like it's not just the calls, right? There's the things before the PTSD that lead up to it, like you mentioned, the organizational, alcohol, drug abuse, financial, like all these other things that play a role in it. And yeah, I mean, just it's crazy. And something else that too, now that we're on this road, about the suicide and homicide rates that dropped in New York after 9/11. Just like interesting things like that just make you wonder.
That's a good point, man. That's a smart point as well. And David Rhodes and Dina, they both like David. When I listened to David Rhodes do his speech, his keynote speech, and he talked about workplace toxicity and exclusions, and I have a presentation, and I use a clip of his because, man, it amps me up. When he gets angry about it. He gets like, he's passionate about it. He's talking about exclusion. He's talking about workplace toxicity, and that we need to be better as brothers and sisters in the fire service community. It's important, and we need to see the signs. And like I've talked about before, like the emergency action or the employee assistance programs, a lot of them don't work because they're not geared towards us. Yeah. And like I've said before, if I had a brother or sister come up to me, especially my previous place, if one of them actually just came up to me and said, "Hey man, are you okay? Do you want to talk?" That would have made the world to me. And I think that's what got missed on a lot of these points. That's how I feel. I feel that people just turn their back to a problem and they knew there was a problem, but they didn't bother to say anything because we're all afraid of confrontation. So I know, like, if somebody came up to me and asked me, "Hey, you okay? Or do you want to talk?" I'm going to lash out. And I don't mean to lash out at them, but I'm going to lash out because I have this shit just boiling inside of me.
Yeah.
And so if somebody says, "Hey, you want to talk?" Oh yeah, I'm going to talk. And it's going to come out. And it's not because of you, but now you've opened up those gates. So if anybody's listening or watching, if you're going to talk to somebody, be prepared for those gates to open. You literally just have to stand there and just literally go, sure, You don't have to say I understand. You don't have to say I get it. You don't have to say anything. But standing there in front of me and letting me vent and letting me talk will do wonders, because it shows that you actually give a shit about me.
Right.
When people don't give a shit about their brothers and sisters, I think that's when the bad stuff starts to happen. And they feel like there's no place to go. And then they go down that dark road.
Right. Yeah. I mean, it brings up a lot of good points. You know, it's, like I said, it's just crazy. Just got to be there for each other more, you know, in all aspects of everything.
Yes, sir.
Doesn't matter. Like, you know, for me, at least, it's kind of hard sometimes. Like, I'm 19, right? And so when I'm like back home and I'm with like a lot of old guys who have been there for, you know, back when they had horses and everything, it's like, hey, you know, you doing all right? And it's like, you know, that dude's probably, I don't, you know, anyways. But yeah, just regardless of anything is what I'm getting at. Just being there for each other more.
Absolutely.
So I got two more things to pivot this. One quick one. You keep bringing up metal, and so give me your like top 3 songs right now.
Top 3 songs, dude.
Yeah.
That's like
we could do bands.
Do bands? All right. Lately, I've been listening to a lot of Lionheart. They're a hardcore band out of LA, and I dig them very much. They're West Coast hardcore. They actually do. There's a song that they Chewing on the Leash. It was with Kubla Khan.
Okay.
Wicked good song. So when I'm at the gym, I'm usually listening to a lot of Lionheart. I grew up listening to hardcore music, punk music. Again, Metallica was one of my all-time favorites. So man, pick like my top 3 bands. I'd always have to go with Metallica because that's what I cut my teeth on, right? So I love Metallica. I give a shout out to Kyle Ramagus because he's a big Metallica fan as well. I mean, it is one of my emblems on my, you know, I took metal up your ass. So Metallica is a big influence for me. And I have their tattoo. This is on my elbow is Madball. They're a hardcore band out of New York. And honestly, again, for another good band, I have to go with 100 Demons, another New England band. 100 Demons out of Connecticut. I got to see them, got to hang out with them in Connecticut. A buddy of mine, he's on the job as well, Chuck. He's my brother-in-law. He's on the job in Nashua, and he actually still is. He's in the hardcore band, and I was fortunate enough to actually tour with Chuck and his band for a little bit, and we'd hang out with all the other bands and have a blast. So
awesome.
Yeah.
All right. Good. Sweet. Yeah, you got some. I haven't low-key haven't heard of a lot of them. Obviously Metallica, but yeah, I definitely like. Dude, I try to get like into some of that like hard metal stuff, you know, like some Mudvayne songs and just some like crazy songs that I don't know. You gotta be in the right. You gotta be in the right mood.
You do. So for me, it's like because like I can relate to a lot of those the lyrics and the songs that I got going on. Like it hits, especially again when I'm in the gym. I'm not listening to techno. Like I'm not listening. Like, it is like the heaviest of crap, man. And I'm in it. Like I think people always think I'm about to fight somebody because usually when I walk in the gym, I got my music in my ears and I'm like I got my angry face on. So and then like someone talks to me like, "Oh, hey man, how you doing? It's good to see you." You know, so but yeah, I love that shit.
Dope. Yeah, yes, sir. All right. How do you stay motivated when balancing work, family, school, you know, podcast, going to conferences, life?
Yeah.
What keeps your motivation? For me, you know, sometimes like I don't want it. Like obviously, I was pumped to do tonight's episode, but you know, a few days from now or a few days ago, there's parts of me that's like I don't want to do a podcast this week. I don't want to do it anymore. You know, like how do you stay motivated?
It's funny that you say that because I do the same thing. Like there'll be nights where I'm like, damn, I really don't want to talk tonight. You know, like and I'm grateful. I thank God almost every day for letting me do this. I truly believe that God has set me on a different path. He has a plan for all of us. And I truly believe his path that he set up for me was to do this. That like my good friend of mine, Shane Bentley, who runs Bears of the Oath. I love him tremendously. And I told him one day, I said, I now get it. Like, and again, I'm not super religious. I do believe in God. And I believe he's got a plan for everybody. And one day I just stopped complaining and I stopped asking him why. And I just literally just let him guide me. And literally it was like a hand on my shoulder. And he's like, this is what you're going to do. And so with that, that's what keeps me motivated, is that people are getting good out of it.
Yeah.
And working through him, or him working through me, has been really helpful. And I mean, I know I sound crazy talking like that, but some people think it's crazy, some people don't.
No, not at all.
But I do believe there's a higher power to things. And I'm thankful for that. And so that's what keeps me motivated, is that when I get somebody asking me or telling me, hey man, I really appreciate your message and what you had said means a lot to me, or I got something out of it. That's what keeps me motivated. When I have a person that says, I can relate to what you're saying, or what you said helped me, that means the world to me and keeps me motivated. Like obviously my wife and my children, if it wasn't for them, I don't think I'd be able to do this. If my wife didn't back me for this, because I'm up here in my office, in my home, but I'm up here to do like all the time, recording, doing stuff, editing, doing all these things, traveling. I have twin girls, so like she has to deal with a lot of that. And you know, there's times like I don't want to sit up here and talk, or I never actually say I don't want to. I might be tired, and I never say I don't want to go somewhere. I love going to meet new people. I love going to conferences. I love teaching and presenting and doing what I do. But if my wife said, "Hey, man, I can't do this anymore," like then you know that's when it has to come to a real talk. I'm like, okay, I guess I can't do all of this. So the motivation though is that my wife backs me, she supports me, and she loves I'm doing this because she knows how much I love it. But when I go places and I have somebody who I've never met before come up to me and go, like I did an episode where I was talking about my life and my reflections, and I was at Bears of the Oath, and I had a good friend come up to me and goes, I felt like you were talking about me. What you said in that episode resonated so much with me, and he's like, and I had to play it for my wife. We were traveling. He's like, I normally listen to Corley, but I said, hey, I want you to listen to this. And she's like, oh, what are we listening to? And he played it, and she said, is he talking about you? And he said, no, that's his life. He's talking about his life, but it sounds like mine, doesn't it? And she's like, holy crap. Like, I thought he was talking about something that you had dealt with. So he's like, man, that's what helped me, is that I knew I wasn't alone anymore. So that's what keeps me motivated. You know, like we talked earlier, I don't make anything. Like, this is not a money thing. It's not an insta famous thing. If my experiences can help others, or if what I can bring a guest on that can help others, that's my motivation. Yeah. Giving back to everybody else. That's my motivation.
For sure. And I don't know what else, like, oh, I don't know if I lost you there. Sorry. I don't know what else could be better than that, you know, just that feeling of knowing that, you know, like you made a difference, even if it's small, you know,
because we're in the bit, right. It's literally what we're doing to help. We're in the business of helping others. Right. So if I can help others through this as well, dude, that's a win. If I'm helping my fellow brothers and sisters by doing this, that's great. I can be at work and helping the community I serve, and I can come home and spread a good positive message that helps others, my brothers and sisters. That's motivation right there, brother. Yeah,
for sure. Definitely. And just keeping that same attitude, you know, throughout everything, and having a good family, good wife too, everything. I mean, that's awesome. I don't know if you want how personal you want to get, but has this always been the case as far as the relationship with your wife, as far as her supporting you throughout the podcast and like managing their time, or has it in the past, you know, caused some issues along the way?
I think any marriage, honestly, is going to have issues. I think if I said everything was, you know, sunshine and rainbows, then I'd be lying. Like, as you get older in life, once you get married and you're doing your thing, you're going to understand exactly what I'm talking about. I'm sure your old man says the same thing to you. Like, you just wait till you get married, right? There's struggles in life, but we go through them. We work together, and that's the whole point of marriage, is working through your ups and working through your lows. Sometimes there might be more lows than there are highs, but you can't give up on each other. So having a strong marriage, having people that understand each other, open lines of communication. If you're hiding stuff from your wife or she's hiding stuff from you, the marriage isn't going to work. You can't base a relationship on lies. Like when we first started dating, we had our issues. We actually broke up for a little bit when we first started dating. Again, transparency. She drank a lot. I drank a lot. And I stopped for a bit because I worked at a bar. Like I was a bouncer and then I was a bartender, and that's how I met her.
Yeah.
And we both were like in two different places right at that moment. And then she realized that she can't keep doing what she's doing. I realized I can't keep doing what I'm doing. And we ended up getting back together. And we've been together ever since. But man, we've hit bottom. We've hit some rough roads, but that's what marriage is, man, is working with each other and meeting your best friend and coming out better on the other side with all the other things that go down the road. Because when I'm 70 years old, we can kick back and go, man, you remember that time we totally fucked this up?
Right.
But we're still here.
Yeah.
That was cool. Because at the end when everything's all said and done, I want to be sitting on the porch with my best friend.
Right.
She's my best friend. So other people might come and go in your life, but when you have a person that loves you and they get you, and you've developed, you've raised from babies to adults. Yeah, man, that's great. What was that question? What was that?
Just okay.
Thank you for preaching the fireworks. No, thanks, man. Appreciate it. Cool.
Motivation.
I love it, dude. I appreciate it. How many people we got watching?
Well, it's been going up from like 4 to like 10.
All right.
It's been jumping. So, dude, record numbers, dude.
Record number, we got 10. All right.
Weekly scrap got nothing.
He said it, Corley. I didn't.
All right. Let's see. Okay. Talked a little bit about conferences.
Yeah.
And I've been to 2.
Okay. Which ones have you been to?
I went to Sawdust City and Oshkosh in Wisconsin. Got to listen to, at the time, dude, I wish I would have known these guys going into it, because now I sit back and I realize how fortunate I was. But I listened to Sam Hiddle out of Wichita. I listened to Dina. I listened to, JD Ducharme, who I've had on here. Awesome, great guy. Nick Peppard. And I think those were the 4 that came on that I listened to, and Arthur Ashley too, big one. Yeah, I forgot that one. But yeah, so super awesome time there.
Awesome.
They're so fun. And going to firemanship, registration opened at 11. I was like, I want to get canned confidence. You know, you're on your computer when you hit, like, you go to fill in a question thing or a registration, and you click it and it like pops up like your name because you've already entered it somewhere before. It had that on all of them, so it went super fast. So yeah, I'm going to firemanship. Got canned confidence.
Awesome, bro. That's awesome.
So yeah, dude, I'm pumped. I'm so pumped.
I'm excited for you.
Yeah, but yeah, the importance and benefits from attending fire conferences, and then 2, you can talk a little bit about FDIC and the health and wellness.
Sure, bro. Yeah, I love going to conferences. They're so much fun. One day, excuse me, I'm going to get my wife to come with me because, like, again, we got to take care of the house, right?
Yeah.
And our girls are pretty busy, so if I'm not there, she's got to take care of business. So, but I've been blessed where I got to go to a bunch. I think it's so important for anyone in our line of work to get out and do conferences. I was in my own little bubble for a long time, and all I knew was what my training captain was teaching me, or what I learned at the fire academy. That's all I knew, and I couldn't think outside the box. And then I started to get a little more wiser into the fire service, and started to learn about other conferences. I'm like, wow, this looks cool. I want to learn that. I want to learn this. So County Fire Tactics was one of my kind of like my real first conference, and I really enjoyed it. I loved the classrooms that were going on. I got to learn from John Norman and it was Ray McCormack and all the big names, Anthony Avalio, and man, it was a crap load. It was fantastic.
Awesome.
It was the officer boot camp, and then you get to network as well. So you get to hang out and talk to everybody and meet just the students as well. So that was like a game changer for me. I came back, I was like refreshed. I'm like, this is exciting. Holy hell. Like, I wish I knew more about this. So like, I honestly, actually, my first conference was FDIC. And that was mind blowing for me. Like, I couldn't, that was like going to Disney World. I was like so awestruck and everything. But my first like real classroom, like really like on my own, because I went with other people from my department, but this one was on my own, and CFT was my really first one. And that was really cool to just learn from all these icons and with all the information they had to give. And it just started from, it just kept on going. I'm like, I want to do more. I want to learn more. So then I went to Dad Gunfire Conference in Texas, and I went to First in Arkansas. I went to Bears of the Oath like now 3 times. Man, there's so many out there. There's so many good conferences out there, and it opens your eyes and your mind to all these cool techniques and tactics. And we're in a great world of we have it right here in the palm of our hands. So like, if I couldn't go to a conference and I want to learn from that person, all I got to do is literally open up my phone and go to YouTube or something, and there they are teaching that same thing. Like, hard facts, brass tacks. Like, that's great. Like, all that information's right there, and you can keep playing it back and keep making your notes. I'll do that a lot. Like, when I listen to podcasts or watching stuff online, I'll literally keep replaying it back and forth so I can keep taking my notes. But the experience of being at a conference is something you really have to experience firsthand, because not only of the skill set you're obtaining, but the networking. And especially if you're not a social person, this helps to get you into that mind frame of like, you actually need to talk to people. Because you can sit there at a table all day long and just sit there, and hopefully you don't rub elbows with anybody if you're an introvert, but eventually you're going to have to say something to somebody. Right. And all of a sudden you realize that you're just hanging out with the same person like you. They're just here to learn. So I highly recommend for anybody. It's so incredible to learn from these people that are there to teach us, but it's also incredible to get the experience of meeting other people who are just like you. Because people who are going to these conferences, they're just like us. They're there to learn, to better themselves, to bring it back to the departments. And then you also get to talk to somebody like, hey, my department does this. What do you think? Oh, my department does this and that and this. And then you get to actually learn from each other and come up with some new ideas. And whether it's a union contract or whether it's an SOP or it's how their truck is set up, you get to learn from the other person who's literally standing next to you that you normally wouldn't get online, right? So I think it's a game changer. We're in such a fantastic time right now. Where literally you go on social media, there's conference after conference after conference. Right. So you if you didn't get the first one, you're going to get the next one. You might have to travel a little bit farther, but especially if your department pays for you, that's great. Because then some of them have a budget where you get like $1,500 and you can go fly or take a hotel to wherever you need to go. So take advantage of it. If your department actually has funds, like, that's education that's not being taken advantage of. Like, go do it, man. Have fun. Like, go learn from these people that literally have dedicated their lives, right, to make our lives easier and better. Because man, there is a lot of techniques that I didn't know about until I went somewhere else, and my mind was blown. Like, when I first learned from Rob Ramirez, my mind was friggin' blown. I couldn't believe all the stuff that he had, and it was like I revert to Dad Gum, because that was one of my most mind blowing conferences I ever been to. I was tired every evening, because we did a lot of work. But I learned a lot of stuff. Like, I had Basil, I had Rob Ramirez, I had the Dadgum cadre. It was just absolutely amazing. I loved the whole event because I came back with, my notebook was full. So when you have those type of conferences and you still talk about it like 3 years later, it's a damn good conference.
Definitely. No, and you bring up 2 good points I want to get to. One, just meeting people, like, I met, so many people online just from starting this. I mean, in the past, I don't even know, it's been 7 months maybe. And the amount of people I've met has just been crazy. Met all these different people online. And just going to conferences too. Like you said, you're kind of forced and thrown into that meeting people. And just remembering, like, you are all here for the same reason. Like, anything you think about, like, your department specifically, or like problems there, like, people not thinking this stuff, and then you could go there with all these like-minded people. Dude, it's such an awesome experience.
Yeah, man, absolutely.
And then you brought up Rob Ramirez and like your mind being blown. And I've talked about this before, but it was just like Sam Hiddle's forcible entry slideshow lecture. And dude, I've said this like 100 times, so people that have watched this are probably annoyed, but it was nuts to me that he has like 200 slides about forcible entry. And it's like, all his like GoPro footage or whatever of him like actually doing it, like all the math behind it and like all the stuff. It's insane.
He was one of my very first classes that I ever took when I went to FDIC, and this was over 10 years ago. When I went to FDIC, he was one of the classes. I didn't even know who he was.
Yeah.
And again, this is over 10 years ago. He was one of the classes I sat in, and I thought it was one of the same thing, the reaction that you had. I was sitting in that class and I went, holy shit, mind blown. I couldn't believe all the knowledge that he had about forcible entry, because I only knew like one way, right? And then here's this guy with 200 slides of this, and I sat in that class, just my eyes glued to the screen, and just my ears were just so ready to absorb all that knowledge he had to give us. And he was my very first. It was one of my very first classes I ever took at FDIC, and it was him. And then my other one was talking about RIT, and that was with Lasky and Sulka.
Got it. Yeah, it's awesome. I can't like department I'm just finishing up the recruit academy with actually pays for outside training. That's a new idea to me that I haven't known previously with my other department. So, dude, it's awesome. Paying up lets you take the gear and everything, and yeah, definitely more departments need to do that as well, for sure.
I mean, you're investing. It's really quite simple. I mean, if you think about it, right? And I don't know why some places make it like so difficult.
Right.
It's very simple. You let your people go to these conferences, and you're investing in them, and they come back with all this information and knowledge to make your guys better. And you just have to be careful. Mickey Farrell said it as well. I listened to a podcast. He talked about conferences, and I learned so much from that guy. And he hit it on the head, is just be mindful when you're coming back, though. Like you're not going to change the world within one day. You're not going to change your department in that one day. You have to be mindful of who's there and who you're talking to. And you're going to have all this energy and passion, and if you go there and go, well, Sam said to do this, and Sam said to do that, and they're going to do this, and you're going to do this, and you do that. Your department now is not going to listen to you, right? Because they're going to say, I don't care what Sam has to say. This is the such and such fire department. We don't work that way. But if they like, well, show us what you learn. Oh yeah, I would be so happy to do that, right? And then you get to actually show them some of the skills that you learned. And maybe they didn't. And then Larry, that's again, I revert back to dadgum, because I didn't know about the pickoff straps. I didn't know about other ways to be able to do certain techniques, because I always wondered about them, but no one ever talked about it. And then when I went to there, I was like, that's when my mind was blown when I saw the pickoff straps, and I was like, why aren't we doing this? Like, this is so much easier. Why isn't it happening this way? And that's got me to go back to my department, started showing them some things. But I was mindful when I came back. I wasn't like, we're doing it wrong. I'm like, no, they were like, hey, how was your conference? Oh, it was really good. What did you learn? Can I show you? Absolutely. And then it progresses that way. But you have to be respectful. So if anybody going to these conferences, especially anybody doing the first time, you're going to come back with all energy. You're going to come back with all this knowledge and new ways to do things. Just be respectful of your department and the people who are there, and let them ask you and show them. Don't tell them, and say, we have to do it this way, because then you're going to close their minds off from learning. Yeah.
And just actions over words, like with that too. Just little things here and there, and not like you said, be too pushy with it, and then it just shuts the whole thing down, and then you're cooked.
Yes, sir.
Tommy says, first time listening. Thank you.
Thanks, Tommy.
Quinn got okay. Well, if you find me, I'll be there. So I'll have stickers and stuff, hopefully. Like Jobtown Graphics is doing, hopefully 3 more days. Dude, I'm so excited because his work is just awesome.
He does a great job. He's done so many departments and people, and he was a pleasure to work for. So I love that he's doing good things, man. He's a great guy.
I'm excited. So got one more question for you.
Yeah, bro.
We could, we talked about earlier, could literally have an entire episode for each question. And this one's funny. It's going to be a little funny, but the positive and negatives to social media, and how do we as content creators, right, navigate through that, as far as, blocking out the people with the negative comments, pushing through it, staying motivated, everything with that. Go for
Yeah,
it.
that's always a good question, bro. I'm still learning, to be
Yeah,
honest with
same.
you. Like, it's a tough world. You have people that don't do the job commenting on things that you talk about or that you show, just to be argumentative.
Yeah.
So those kind of people, I close my mind off to them. I ignore them, and if they're not giving anything good in return, I just ignore them. And honestly, if they become a problem, I'm okay with blocking people. You know, social media is really good, but it can be really bad. And if you let it consume you because somebody said something bad about what you're saying or the technique you're showing, then you're not going to be able to live your own life. And again, I was in that. As I started this, especially honestly, I'm so blessed that I haven't gotten any negative crap from what I do for my show, for my podcast. But man, once I show stuff like training,
Yeah.
that's where that's where firefighters love to eat other firefighters, man. And that's the tough world right there. So when I'm in my gear, because again, I love working, I love training, and I love being able to show what I've learned and some extra things maybe I picked up. And so when I do some of these things and I show these videos, you just get a string of haters sometimes, and it's tough. And a lot of people say you're just going to have to let it go. You just have to turn a blind eye, and it's easier said than done. But yeah, you're just going to have to. Unfortunately, it is in the name of the game. It's there's nothing. There's no remedy. Yeah. Unfortunately, because like I've talked about it before, we live in a world where nobody has to deal with that confrontation, right? Yep. You know, whoever's saying bad things about you or me, they're living 1,000 miles away. Right. So they don't have to listen. I don't have to approach them and go, why did you say this about me? Yeah. So things that suck is that I've said it before, we can't punch people in the face anymore. Right. So I can hide behind my keyboard right here and I can say all this stuff, but I'll never get hit in the face for it. So if I don't have to feel any pain for what I'm saying, but it's going to hurt the other person though. So we do need to focus on being better for each other, especially firefighters. And I've said it before that my biggest soapbox is that if you are having on your profile that you work for such and such department and you have all the pictures of yourself in gear and you're doing all these great things, and there's a young firefighter or even an old firefighter that has a training video out there, or they're doing a technique and you may not agree with it, or there's a new product and you just completely bash them and you say like just nasty stuff. Yeah. You're reflecting not only yourself, but you're reflecting your department. Right. Right. So, you know, like we always said, like in the name on your jacket and on your shield, right, reflects who you are and who you work for. Right. It's the same thing on social media. If you have the name of your department in your profile and then you go on social media and you shit all over somebody, you're still representing your department. So maybe think twice before crapping on somebody else, because it does take a lot of balls to do this. And whether you're doing training or a podcast or teaching, it does take a lot of balls. It takes a lot of skill sets. And, you know, is there people out there that maybe shouldn't be training or doing videos? Probably, but who am I to judge, right? Yeah, right. I'm not. No one's. God did not dub the Mike Goldstein. You are now sanctioned to say your training's good, your training's bad, right? And there's nobody out there. Honestly, there's nobody out there. We are all students of the craft. We're all students of life. So for the social media thing, just try to be good to each other. And for the ones who are receiving the hate, it's a tough world. But if you're doing it for the right reasons. And that's the biggest thing you have to remember. If you're still getting hate, just remember why you're doing this. Remember why you started. It's because you're trying to bring something positive. Keep being consistent with that. Don't give in to the haters. Don't feed into them. If they have negative comments, just let them go. It doesn't matter. Just keep doing your thing. Don't, like, as soon as you engage, that's going to start that shitstorm, right? So just don't even bother. And if a person really becomes like problematic and is really just trying to like destroy your life, it's delete them, block. I mean, it's the best thing I can recommend is like, honestly, if a person's giving you that much shit and he's making your life miserable, or he or she, honestly, I got no problems with it. If someone's giving me a massive amount of crap, I don't need you in my life. I got plenty of other people I can talk to. I will delete you. So that's the thing that's crazy, man, because everyone's so afraid of doing that. Like, if you don't recognize a phone call on your phone, we have all these robots calling us. You pick up every time and go, yeah, expecting a different result. No, you block it. It's the same thing with the same person giving you shit. Like, are you going to keep engaging with the same person, or are you going to be like, I've had enough, I'm done, and then just block them? So long-winded answer, but honestly, just ignore the haters. If you're doing it for the good reasons and you're doing it because you want to give something positive back to the world, then keep doing that. Be consistent with that. Don't let anybody else ruin your passion. Just keep going.
Right. Yeah. No, and dude, it's tough because even like for me, right? So I've had people comment negative things about guests coming on my show, on my post, talking about the guest, talking negative. And it's like, my initial reaction is just like to just start ripping on this person. It's like, all right, I'll just remove the comment. And like you said, just get rid of them, And I feel like, for me, people can say things, right? Like, I've had some negative stuff, whatever. But just like when people say negative things about people that I know, or like people that like, that's when it's tough for me to like not respond. And then I love the people like coffee cup drills, right? And they post a scenario and it's like, what do you think? And it opens up a discussion for people. And I think we need more of that too. Like what do you think? What do you specifically think, compared to just like, having a person just like watch this video and then just rip it apart because, whatever reason.
It's crazy. Like, the world is like, now everybody feels like they can just give their opinions on everything. Yeah. And we're not asking for your opinion.
Right.
We're just showing something. And if you feel so strong that you have to give your opinion, and it might come off negative, you can message the person and go, hey, I have a question about this. Yeah. Honestly, perfect example. I'll give a shout out to William Densmore. He does the Backstep training, and he posted a video of maneuvering a patient's victim up and through the window. The technique wasn't completely solid, but I think a lot of people would have saw that and go, why didn't you do this? And you should be doing this and do that, and could rip them apart. And I saw that. And actually I saw Noah from Priority Fire Training, Noah Katz. He did a really good job. He's very professional about it. He's like, hey man, these are the steps I see that maybe you can improve on. You're doing great. These are the things I see. And he did it in the comment field, and it was super solid. Like, he was very professional, and he didn't rip them apart for it. And then I took it a step further, and I messaged William and I said, here are some training videos that I got to go to these trains I went to. Here's these videos that maybe could help you. Yeah. I didn't have to rip them apart. If you wanted to see the videos, cool. If you didn't, cool. But he was appreciative and said, man, I really appreciate it, because that's what we should be doing, helping each other, because maybe he just missed that step in that video or didn't see it. And it's not, maybe it's not his fault, but instead of like, again, ripping each other apart, if you know that is wrong, and you literally train it, you teach it, or it's not right, instead of ripping them apart for everybody to see, message the person to the side and just say, here's some tips for you. Maybe this will work for you. And they're going to be appreciative about it, instead of like coming at them and crapping them all over them. Like, who are you to teach this? And see, this is why you shouldn't do it. Stay in your own lane, whatever the reasons being. Like, and again, we're all going to have those haters, but I always preach it. We should just try to be better to each other. And if we can all just realize that not everybody needs our opinion on everything, I think the world would be a lot better place.
Yeah, absolutely. There's so much more to talk about, with that. And I had, like I said, I had Nick Ladine on last time, and he's got a few quotes, and I'm gonna steal this one about getting ready to land this plane. Is there anything else, personal life, doesn't have to be fire service related, that you want to just throw out there that's on your heart, on your mind? Anything, advice for people, just anything that you want to throw out there. You don't have to, but if there is anything, feel free.
No, that's a great question. I appreciate that open forum for that. I was thinking about it today. I'm always thinking, dude. My brain is always working. This job is not that difficult, right? It really isn't. We make it difficult. We overcomplicate it. It is really quite simple. We should always be a student of the fire service. Yep. But we are also a student of life. Yeah. We should always be learning. And if you're not reflecting and you're not taking the time to slow it down and realize that you're not perfect. Yeah. That you're not going to be the best firefighter. You're not going to be the know-it-all, and that's okay. But be humble, have humility, and treat people with respect.
Yeah.
So just because you've been doing this job for 30 years doesn't give you the right to shit on other people.
Yeah.
It doesn't give you the right to think that you have to be the loudest in the room. There's always something to learn. There's always going to be someone better than you. There's always someone better than me. I am not the best firefighter in the world. I am totally cool with admitting that. I definitely could be better in a lot of things, but I think we need to realize that we all need to be open-minded and treat people with respect. And that's really difficult for a lot of people. So you always have to be a student of the firemanship, of the game, of the craft, be appreciative of this job, but also be a student of life. Learn from life, just like you learn in the fire service. Learn how to treat people better. If you don't know how to treat people, then maybe you need to talk to somebody. And because we're going to go through this life a long time. The fire service is going to be done with us. But the life is going to continue to go on. And if you still don't know how to deal with people, again, you're still going to be learning how to live. That's what I mean by being a student of life. We're always going to be learning more in this world. There's going to be things that be thrown at us all the time. And it's easy to be a firefighter. It really is. The job is not that difficult. It's a lot harder to live life. Right? When fire service is done, when I'm 50 something years old or 60 years old, when I need to retire, I can walk away from that. The fire service is going to continue on, but life is going to continue on for me. And I need to know how to deal with life. So with everybody out there, just really, that's my biggest thing. Just treat everybody with respect. Be a student all the time, whether it's the fire service or in life, that we should be learning from each other. And that means being respectful of each other.
Awesome, man. Could not have said it any better, for real. Dude, I really appreciate you taking the time to come on. I mean, I know you're busy, got your own show and everything, but
I'll give a shout out for FDIC real quick. I'll give
go for it.
If you guys are going to FDIC, I forgot to mention that talking about like what we just talked about, that'll be spoken about a lot at the Health and Wellness Center stage and at Lucas Oil Stadium. So I encourage anybody who's in the area for FDIC, come and visit the stage, see what we're talking about. There's going to be a lot of talk about the toxic work relationships, mental health, organizational betrayal. We're going to have a whole bunch of guests out there.
Awesome.
So I'm very privileged and honored and blessed to be invited to do this. And for anybody, like for you, anybody else out there, just continue to spread your positive message. Be a good person, and good things can happen. So I can't express it enough. Learn from your mistakes, reflect on yourself, and realize that you don't like to be treated like shit. So don't treat other people like shit.
On top of that, oh, hold on. Got the the star of the fire service on right now. But yeah, on top of that, Public Safety Training Center, just shout this out again. RIT training Saturday, April 18th from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. at the Green Valley Morgan Fire Co. That's in Wisconsin. Register by April 12th. Yeah, like I said before, dude, I appreciate it a lot. Look forward to meeting you sometime, hopefully. I'm sure within the next 30 years or so that should happen.
Yeah, man.
I'm pretty disappointed if it didn't.
And if anybody's going to Boise, Idaho, I'm excited to see you guys at the March Mayhem. I'll be hanging out with ambassadors of the craft. Dad Gum. I'll be with Preston Lions. We're going to be doing live feeds. It's going to be dope. It's going to be awesome. So March Mayhem coming up in a couple of days. So be on the lookout for that.
Awesome. Are you going to firemanship?
I'm not, unfortunately. I think it sold out before I even thought about even going. And honestly, I've never been.
Okay.
I've never been to firemanship. That's on my bucket list. Lift is on my bucket list. There's, again, like we talked about, there's so many good conferences that I definitely would probably be divorced if I tried to go to all of these things. So I have to pace myself. So I'm already in hot water for the two conferences. I'm going to March Mayhem, then Key City Fire Conference in Frederick, Maryland, March 18th to the 21st. And then I'm going to the Coastal Magnolia Fools in May. Before that, I'm going to FDIC. So I'm already kind of in hot water with the misses. So if I try to throw something else in there, I might have to either buy her something really expensive or maybe live up here upstairs or something. So
got it. Well, yeah, hope all of those go well. I know they will. And thanks to everybody that tuned in tonight. Nicole, thanks for coming in. David, appreciate you. Just yeah, everybody that asked questions and everything, super
Yeah.
awesome. And yeah, this will be uploaded on Spotify hopefully by tonight.
Hell yeah.
So yeah, thanks again, Mike, and we will catch you all later.
Mazel tov.